This module of S-Contract allows you to invoice progress claims or produce progress claims for construction or scaffolding. When you first enter the system and log in, you actually see a list of currently active projects. I can actually search for a project by clicking on project name, typing in what I want to search for and clicking on find. When I see the project that I want to look at, I can simply just click on the actual project number, and this brings me to the project details. So we have a project ID, we have actual job number or project number. We can actually have a customer contract number, a quotation number, creation date, the sales rep. We have the project name itself, the customer that it actually belongs to. We have project type, usage type, construction type, all good for reporting later on. We have an expected start date, finish date, and requested start date and actual start date. Also payment terms, site location, and contact information as well in terms of contact person for the actual project and billing details for the client. Now we have some very useful information on the right hand side here. We have the total contract sum, we have the contract invoiced so far, the percentage invoiced, total contract remaining, percentage remaining. We have actually additional rental invoiced, in other words per week thereafter, or additional ongoing rental invoiced outside of the contract, variations invoiced, and then we have some documentation just showing there this current invoice and the total invoice so far. For more details on the project, we click on the stages and charges page, where we can have multiple stages or an unlimited number of stages or areas per project. If we just drag this out a bit, so this is in this example we actually have 3 separate areas or 3 billing areas or stages. So we have contract, we have the north wall, south wall, and then we've entered a variation in there. Each stage has a number of elements, and these elements can be hire, rental, labour, erect, dismantle, transport, delivery, return, sales and sundries, and other charges. These other charges are also reflected down the bottom here. So the purpose of the summary information in this middle section is for like quicker data entry. So you can enter the values in there when you're first entering the data. Now you can actually define unlimited number of types of charges. So this is all in the setup area. So if I click on a particular, we click on the charge area, we can actually see all the different charges that we have available. And you can actually enter your own charges if you need to. So if we look at this particular stage, we actually see the actual quotation amount, or what's part of the contract, and then on the right hand side we have the amount actually invoiced so far. So if we click on the south wall, which is the next stage, we have more information for the south wall, and then we have information for the variation. Now I'm going to actually exit out and then go to the actual invoice area. If I go to the last invoice, this actually shows an invoice that we've already generated. So what I'm actually going to do is, because I'm actually the administrator of the system, I can actually remove some of these charges. So I can just simply go to the bottom area. This is actually a particular invoice, so I'm actually going to remove this invoice for this project, and then click on the minus sign to remove the invoice header, save it, exit out. When I go back to the project, I click on the project again, it's actually refreshed. So what we see here is we have total contract sum of 7,700. Then we have the contract invoice so far and the percentage invoice so far. So we haven't invoiced this at all. So let's actually generate an invoice to see what it actually looks like and how you'd go about generating an invoice.